Our society just labels women as, okay, you stay home, you do this, you do that, you do this for the men. Like, that's your duty, that's your job. But no, women need to like stick up for themselves. We can have kids, we can still have family, but educate yourself first. Like, go for an education first.
That is your
exactly. That's where society.
That is your
you.
all the
And
kids.
therefore,
All the kids are at school. You are at home by yourself. You have 8 hours to yourself.
Are you crying? Kid Dream sitting in $20. He says, are you pro-life or pro-choice? If you're pro-choice, then should women be allowed to do hardcore drugs while pregnant if it's my body, my choice? That's a good question.
This is very
So first, let's start with, are you pro-life or pro-choice? D?
I'm pro-life.
Pro-life? How many abortions you had?
None.
I don't believe it either.
Y'all ain't gotta believe it. I had 3 kids. I got pregnant 3 times, had 3 kids.
Okay,
Never had
fair
an
enough.
abortion.
Okay, I believe it now.
Yeah, you got kids.
Next.
What about you? Are you, well, then the other, oh, no, we're good. So are you pro-life or pro-choice?
Pro-life.
Pro-life?
Pro-life.
Had any abortions?
No, but I did have 1 miscarriage.
Oh, sorry to hear that. What about you? Pro-life or pro-choice?
Pro-life.
Pro-life. Any abortions?
No.
No? All right, fair enough. Tara, what about you?
There's no comment for nobody else.
Pro-choice? Okay, so then the next question would be for you is, he says, if you're pro-choice, then should women be allowed to do hardcore drugs if she's pregnant, if it's my body, my choice? So if you're pro-choice, then she could just abort the baby anyway if she wants. Should a woman be allowed to do hardcore drugs while she's pregnant?
I feel like this question doesn't really make sense though. Like,
Just answer the question.
Just answer it. Just say yes or no.
I no, because like, how are you gonna frame that same shit? Like,
Tara,
I mean, because
if you're
You're either
pro-choice
ending
and
it
you
or
know
harming
you're not
it.
in that situation, like, why would you be doing drugs and also like, okay, I'm gonna still carry on the kid?
No, hypothetically.
No, that makes no sense.
No, here's what we're saying, right? It's simply saying that if you're pro-choice, it's my body, my choice. So then you shouldn't have a problem with a woman doing hardcore drugs
Yeah,
while she's pregnant.
sure, whatever. Yeah, because then I guess it'll be her own problem.
Okay. All right,
It's
fair
like,
enough. She bit the bullet.
Either way, that second question like doesn't make sense in my opinion, but
All right.
that's my opinion.
All right.
Go on.
And what about you? Are you pro-choice or pro-life?
Pro-life.
Question, what advice would you give modern women? Would you tell them to prioritize family or prioritize education?
Family.
All right. Tara, what about you?
Education.
All right. And why?
Did you ask her why?
Yeah, let us all answer first.
Going against the norm, I gotta answer why? Like,
Yeah. Exactly.
answer why.
Yup.
Okay, let everybody answer. And then come back.
like,
All right,
for
we'll
real?
come back to you.
Right?
What about you?
Oh, wait, what was it? Family.
Okay, family.
Family.
I love
Family.
my family.
Family.
Yeah, you're the only one. Why?
Why?
Why education, Tara?
I want to know.
Because I can just because I don't have kids doesn't mean I don't want them. But first, I'm gonna educate myself first on any type of topic. Like, I'm gonna put myself first because for me to be the best self, I'm not gonna put a kid in a position where I'm not educated enough. I'm not able to provide. I can't do whatever to provide for the kid. Our society just labels women as, okay, you stay home, you do this, you do that, you do this for the men. Like, that's your duty, that's your job. But no, we're positioned, we're growing as a society to not be like that. Women need to like stick up for themselves. They need to educate themselves on all types of things. Yeah, we can have kids, we can still have family, but educate yourself first. Like, go for an education first.
Do you
Be
think
able to
that?
provide for yourself first. Like, why do you have to depend on a man?
Do you think
wish I
that?
could.
Do you think that with the mindset that you currently have is the reason why you're single with no kids?
No. 'cause
How isn't it? You prioritize your career, your
I also
education.
had other life situations that put me in a position to not prioritize that first. I put others before me, before I put myself first.
You really don't need to chase education, because if you're chasing education, you're incurring debt. So you're putting yourself in financial debt. Generally speaking, most women do. That's just what happens, right?
Yeah, because
but if
they're
you
not
didn't know,
educated enough to like look for other areas of where they don't have to pay for things. You can get scholarships.
Yeah, of course you can definitely get
Everybody
some.
qualifies for scholarships.
You could definitely get some
Exactly.
scholarships, but she's saying that she doesn't have that. So that's good.
The research.
That's good for you. But simply saying, if you are going to advise modern women not to prioritize family and to prioritize education,
There are
what's
other
going to
medical
happen is
options
this.
to have a family.
Yeah, no,
later
but
life
in
that are
vitro
very
and all of that,
successful.
that's very expensive. It
Okay,
tends to
why-
be very
but okay.
problematic. But here's my question for you, though, right? Quick question.
Yeah.
If it's the case that women are, from your worldview, is to prioritize their education and not family, under a society like that, how can you maintain your current population level? Because what would happen is if they're prioritizing their education first, then they're waiting to have children in their later years. It decreases the amount of children that they can have. This is why currently in today in modernity, we are below replacement level for our population. It's supposed to be 2.7 babies per woman, but currently we're at 1.6 babies per woman, which is why we got the border still open and we letting in immigrants, right?
All
Even
right,
though Trump is trying to get a hold of
I'm not going to go on
things.
that type of level because that's way too political, and that this is not a platform for relationships and dating to be in that type of political scene.
No, I was just making a statement. You don't have to reply back
Yeah,
on.
I'm not going any further on this.
I'm simply saying this, though. I'm simply saying that if you are going to, because the question was, what would you advise women to do? You said that you would advise them to prioritize your education, which means that they're going to have if they are going to have children, it's going to be in their later years.
There's also
so then they can't.
science
So then they can't have enough children.
Allow for women to have more successful.
Right.
What
think-
science?
Hold on.
on.
There
Science.
is fertility.
Okay, do you
that you
know
can go
that
and
those
do.
clinics are very expensive? And also, do you know that
Yes, I
the
do know that,
likelihood
but
of it
you gotta
happening
put-
is extremely low? It's very
Look, listen.
problematic.
Look. I think the biggest misconception is that ladies like Tara, you can still have kids first and then go to school later. Like for example, if you had a kid at 20, what age do kids go to elementary school? What, 6?
5, 6,
5?
yes. Yeah.
So like you have 8 hours to yourself to pursue online school. Hold on, stop.
When you're older, you have all that time
Yeah,
to do that.
you have so much time on your hands to continue and pursue your education. For example, like I said before, if you had a kid at 20, kids start school at 5. You have 8 hours of your day to yourself 5 days a week to take online courses to pursue that
To
psychology.
ourselves, when we're the ones that are also supposed to be taking care of the family, we're supposed to be the one. This society
Let me
wants.
finish. Let me finish.
No,
now.
that's
Look,
if you're a single mom.
Yeah.
If you
No,
pick the right
listen,
man
listen,
and you
in
have
a-
a man by
in
your
a- in a-
side,
in a
it's
ideal-
two people raising the children.
In an ideal situation, if you're married or in a relationship with a guy that you're still together with, you guys have a kid at age of 20, 5 years later, they're in school, your husband or boyfriend is at work, you're at home. That is your
Exactly, that's where society.
That is your
puts you,
all the
and
kids.
therefore-
All the kids are at school. You are at home by yourself. You have 8 hours to yourself to do whatever you want. So that means you got 8 hours to go to school, take online classes, or go school in person and take 1 or 2 classes at community college to pursue that psychology degree, nursing degree, whatever. So just because a woman prioritizes family first does not mean she cannot go to school afterwards, especially if she has kids early on. It's best to have kids, ideally, early on, because for one, it's safer. The kids will come out way more healthier. You'll be able to have way more children. So once you do that, then you'll be able to pursue school because at the age of 5, kids are already in school. Now, if you were to have kids later on, yes, there are a lot of there are a lot of women who have had kids in their later ages. But the thing is, it's very risky. Kids can come out unhealthy, have some type of disability,
Birth
but
defects,
also, if you want to
higher
take
risk for the
IVF is very expensive. The average American, we just said, the average American makes 40 to 50K a year. Who wants to be in debt in 40, 50K a year just to try to have a kid when you can easily have one when you're
What you
young?
want to? You was about to say something, Sarah. Go ahead.
I'm good.
That's what I'm saying. It's not
simply
too late.
said, if you just look at it logically, right? If one has a time clock, women, you have a biological time clock on when you can have a baby. When you're 35 years old, it's a high-risk pregnancy, just like E said. It's a higher rate for the baby to have birth defects and many things like that. So if one section has a time clock, which is having a family, then you should prioritize that since it's a time clock. But as far as getting an education, bro, you can go to school and get a little education when you 35, 40, 50 if you really wanted to. You have most of your life to go ahead and get an education. But you do not have most of your life to have children and a family.
My aunt got her bachelor's degrees in her 50s after she had 2 kids. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you can still prioritize family, but just because you prioritize family doesn't mean you cannot pursue school. With the way technology is, you could do online classes and still babysit your kid if you really wanted to, depending on how determined you are. I'm not recommending to do that, but all you need is 5 years, kids in school. Now you have all that free time to yourself. You got 8 hours, 6 hours, however kids are in school for. And then once they're from home from school, that's all your time that you could have to your kids. Again, yes, you can have kids in your later years. Yes, it happens all the time, but it doesn't have to be. I understand if you don't find somebody, you're not lucky, whatever the case may be. But don't think
exceptions don't. It simply said exceptions don't make the rule.
Yeah.
So like to give advice to women about the exception, like, well, yeah, you can go ahead and still get your education and then also have family. Well, that's an exception to the rule. That generally does not happen. What generally happens is the women that chase their education and a career, they end up not having any kids, or they end up having kids at a later age where they can't produce a lot of them, or the kids come out with some type of birth defect. So that's simply all we're saying.
And you guys also
let's get on
do
to
not
that.
understand that females also have to go through genetic testing at an older age when they are going through these treatments and trying to conceive.
Mm-hmm.
So
That
there is
proves- that
prevention
proves our
for
point.
that type of shit too.
No, that proves our
Kind
point.
of understand the whole process too of a female.
No, it proves our point. Why would you want to wait to have kids when you got to go through all of this other stuff? When you're younger, the likelihood
Because there are also not just educational, like, oh, I'm going to go for my education. There's also other reasons. There's also people that do want to have kids that are trying to conceive and also doing like education at the same time, but they still can't.
Are you crying?
Right. So hold on, Cooley. Hold on. No.
I mean, if you...
Hold on. Obviously, if a woman
Someone give her a
has-
hug. Marianne, you right there.
Hold
Not
on. Stop. Look.
You supposed to be empathetic over here.
Oh.
Look, listen.
Empathy, boy.
We understand. I
I mean,
understand.
I hate that I agree with y'all, but I agree with y'all. So
Listen,
that's why I ain't saying
listen.
that.
All right.
Listen. Obviously, if a woman has some kind of medical issue going on, she may not be able to have kids.
We
At a
understand
younger
that.
age.
Yeah.
She may struggle to have kids at a younger age. That's fine. Like, we understand that. You know what I'm saying? But so if you do have that, if you are one of those ladies where it's hard for you to have kids because you have some medical issue, we're not talking about you. You
That's
have
the
a legit-
exception.
you
That's
have
the
a legit
exception to the
excuse.
rule.
But if you're a healthy young woman who takes care of themselves and you are able to have kids at a young age, we would advise you to do so, because once you get older and you try to have kids, there's a high risk that you may not survive that pregnancy. There's a high risk that that baby may not survive that pregnancy. There's a high risk that that baby will come out unhealthy, have some kind of disability, and we don't want that. If you really think about it, we're actually looking out for y'all. We want you guys to have the safest pregnancy, because pregnancy is very dangerous and it's actually scary. You know what I'm saying? So
generally speaking, it's better for women. It's safer for women to have children when they're younger, not when they're older. That's just the statistical facts. Are there exceptions to that? Sometimes where a younger girl maybe would have some type of disability going on and she can't have a baby, or it's more difficult for her to have a baby at the younger age. Yeah, probably so.
Right,
But
like
that's,
my boy, him and his girl, they have a kid, and she has a medical condition where she always struggled to have kids, and she had her first kid at the age of 34. She wanted him sooner, but she had some kind of medical issue going on with herself, so she couldn't be able to have kids at an early age like she'd like. Those cases, we're not talking about those. That's understandable. We get it. But if you're healthy,
hey, she just walked off. Probably had to get some fresh air. One of you ladies want to check on her? Look how y'all supposed to be empathetic and y'all ain't even go check. So if you like that clip and you want to watch more, click right here. But if you want to watch the full episode, click right here.